Welcome to A Quest for Metal, and welcome to the next beginner's guide to, and this one, my favourite genre of all time, atmospheric black metal. I don't know what I was doing there, I was just fondling the balls of the sky, because that's what we like to do in atmospheric black. What are you doing, Quest? But yeah, as it goes, you know, we've done a lot of these videos before, and we do free classic albums, we do free albums to help you get into other stuff, and we do free wildcard. This one was a bit difficult for the middle row, actually. It was quite difficult, so I'm kind of pulling at straws, but yeah, maybe you can help me out in the comments. So yeah, let me know which albums out of those picks you would pick, and let's get stuck in with the essentials for me. So, first up, I gotta say Burzum. Burzum, pretty much creating the genre, pretty much creating the genre. Gonna go with Burzum, I'm gonna go with Hvis, Lysett, because all the albums before this, like Philosophum and Detsom Unganvar, the debut, the more traditional black metal. I know Philosophum's a bit more atmospheric, but it's still kind of traditional black, but this album is atmospheric to a T. And I know it influenced DSBM as well, but influenced atmospheric as well. So Burzum's got to be here. Hvis, Lysett, definitely butchered that, but it's a masterpiece of an album, and if it's not on this list, something is wrong. Something is very wrong. Next to that, I'm going to have to go with Ulver's Bergtat. That's correct, Ulver's Bergtat. Beautiful, atmospheric, folky, melodic masterpiece. Come on, I do love the first three Ulver albums, and some of the later stuff's pretty cool as well, but this one is just the pinnacle of atmospheric black. You can't have this list without Ulver or Burzum. It just doesn't exist. The rest of these won't exist without these two. So, it's going to come here. And actually, for my third pick, and thirdly, we're going to go with Summoning, which I know, a bit different to the Burzum and Ulver, but it just has this amazing atmospheric quality. I know you could say it's epic black metal as well. Yeah, it kind of mixes both genres together, but it's still atmospheric. Still atmospheric epic. So it still counts. And it's just one of the most bombastic, coolest and greatest black metal albums around, and I think it fits nicely in with the classics between Burzum and Ulver. So those are the three classics. Love each and every one of them. But let's get in with the more interesting ones. So the albums that would get people into other genres of music. This was really hard, actually, really hard. The first one that came to mind, because I wanted to mention it, is Drudkh with Blood in Our Wells, one of my favourite black metal albums of all time. I couldn't do this without mentioning Drudkh. I could also put Autumn Aurora, but I'm gonna pick Blood in Our Wells because it's my favourite. Folky, very, very folky. So this would get people into pagan metal, to folk metal, stuff like that. Like the whistling of the trees, cracking of branches, stuff like that. I know Ulver can as well, but this just has this pagan-esque atmosphere and vibe to it, which just, it sings to me. I love it. And this band is probably my favourite black metal band of all time. Yeah. Roman's a genius. I adore them. Every album. So goddamn good. And this is my favourite, so I've got to put on the list somewhere. It's coming here. You want some space? You want some cosmic stuff? Mare Cognitum, Phobos, monolith. Holy shit. This will help people get into spacey metal. more cosmic stuff. I know this is kind of a cop-out, cosmic stuff, spacey stuff, help people. But it could. This album could help people get into Voivod. Could help people get into Vector. Some of the spacey, technical black thrash stuff. Could help people get into other kind of stuff like this, dancey stuff like Misarfim, which is similar. Yeah, it's a weird pick. This one was very hard to pick ones to help people get into other genres. So me saying this will help people get into spacey stuff doesn't mean shit, but I love this band. And if I'm doing atmospheric black metal list and I'm not putting on Mare Cognitum, something's wrong. And last but not least, Blut aus Nord with Memoria Vetusta 2. You could pick any of the Memoria Vetusta albums because they're all masterpieces in their own right, but this one is just the cream of the crop. Piece de la Resistance. And if you listen to this, you might get into more avant-garde style black metal. Because the band itself has a lot of varying genres. They got kind of industrial stuff. They got the more atmospheric stuff. They got spacey stuff as well, like I was mentioning, hallucinogen. And then they got more nightmarish stuff, like the latest album. Very varied discography, very cool discography, and I think this is a great entry level to the band, because this is a bit more, it's atmospheric, so it's calmer, it's peaceful, it helps you, eases you in, and then it pummels you once you start listening to some of the other albums of the band. So yeah, a great entry level album. Now it's the fun stuff. It is the wildcard picks. And first up, Gallowbraid's Ashes Eidolon, or Eidolon, however you say it. Maybe the greatest black metal album ever made. I was struggling between this and Caladan Brood, but seeing as though I got Summoning on already, I'm not going to put Caladan Brood on because it's in that same epic black metal vein, but that's a masterpiece as well. So I'm going to go Galabrade. The other kind of similar style album, folky, atmospheric, amazing screams, amazing vocals, amazing melodies, drifts you off into this trance-like state, which you don't want to leave because you're dancing with the pagans in the forest, and it's great. One of my favourites of all time, and everyone needs to listen to it. Next up, I got to mention something spacey again. Darkspace 3. Darkspace has loads of albums, they have 4 albums, and it's called 1, 2, 3, and 4, and for me, 3 is just miles above the rest. I say that, it's like a centimetre above the rest, because the rest are so good as well, but this one is phenomenal. If you want something kind of in the background, like the vocals are screechy, like you come to accept, but it's in the background, and it just adds this layer to the music that nothing else does, and it just makes it just so serene. It's terrifying, the screams on it, and the sounds, like it feels like you're drifting off into space with this album. And I, for one, can't get enough. And finally, the last wildcard pick, Paysage the Hiver, with Paysage the Hiver. This one is so cold, so atmospheric. Again, this is kind of in the background, that kind of atmospheric stuff. The vocals, you can't be beaten. It's one of the classics. I could put this in the classic section as well, but if you haven't heard this one as well, please go check it out. It's one of the greatest atmospheric black metal albums of all time, and that's why it's on this list. So many I've missed off. Again, Caladan Brood, I don't have any. I don't have anything from Winterfilleth, Wolves in the Throne Room, Sayor, none of that stuff. Panopticon's not on here. Like, Agalok, fucking Agalok, that's not on here, even though that's amazing. All these albums are amazing. Atmospheric Black's such a great genre. I want everyone to check out everything by everyone. But yeah, those are just my picks for the most essentials in the genre. So let me know what you would have on your list down below. What do you think of the genre as a whole? And we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.